Hello, welcome to the Socially Numb Podcast. I'm your host, Richie Leahy, and this is set to be our final episode. A while ago, I ended up launching another sports-related podcast, the Southbound Sports Show, and that's pretty much going to take over and be the primary podcast that I end up working on. When this one first started, it was kind of a mix of everything. So we had sports, we had tech, we had video games, and I thought at the time that it would be best if we kind of split the sports stuff off, and it's kind of turned into its own thing, and we've had more success with the Southbound Sports Show. Now, I always wanted this podcast to go at least a year. I was running this one at the same time as Dad Strength, my parenting podcast, which is also wrapping up after, I think, 50 episodes or so, because I had already planned that one to kind of just fizzle out once I got through most of the material, and I had planned to keep this one going in parallel. But some of the things that I had planned didn't really work out in terms of content. So if the last couple of episodes of this show kind of seem stitched together or random, that's why I had planned out ahead of time recording different content, and I wanted to mix it in. I think I talked about this on a different segment, but I was trying to mix everything in and kind of get it to where everything fit together. But some of those plans didn't really work out, and honestly, the podcast form for some of the jokes didn't really fit. And so I've decided to kind of just wrap this one up. Now, I will say that I'm posting the last episode late because when I did that, I realized that I hadn't even uploaded the last couple episodes, and I was in the process of switching hosting. And I'll be putting this podcast on archive.org, and for as long as I'll have it, it'll hopefully be available there, and I'll try to keep it going if I can find another free podcast feed host just for the XML file if archive.org doesn't let me host it there. But the plan is to keep this up as kind of a complete series for people to go back and revisit it, and if they want to listen to anything, it'll be available there. But going forward, like I said, everything will be going to the Southbound Sports Show. Typically, some of the sound hasn't been the best on the show either, because I didn't have a set time to record, and I ended up recording a lot of it while traveling, and it wasn't the best product that I could put forward. So maybe one day in the future, I can either do some type of gaming or tech videos. I think YouTube would be better for tech type stuff because I can actually show it off. But there's a lot of channels already out there doing that. And the podcast, there wasn't a lot of engaging content. I was trying to fill that void. But like I said, all things will kind of just wrap up on the end here. Just trying to clean up. I'm trying to think if there's anything that I didn't even cover. I know I had some parody type stuff that I was going to try to do, but that'll probably just move over to the Southbound Sports Show at this point. But again, thank you for all your support. And if you like the show, you can follow me on Twitter or wherever I'm putting the show up. And just visit my website. You can bookmark it, subscribe to any of my channels or whatever, and that would be a big help going forward. So I appreciate your support. And with that, I know the last couple episodes, it's a mix because I was trying to go back through and make sure that I didn't put the same segments together. So hopefully I didn't mess anything up. I think there will be some long episodes where we did some live recordings, and then there will be some short episodes where some of the content that I had, I was just trying to archive it, and so I put it up and connected it together as part of a podcast. So it might not have really made sense. But we'll wrap up with a short episode. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed it.